I honestly hope you guys are ready to hear the longest spoiler review you've ever heard in your life. Let's do this. Hello beautiful people, how's it going? I'm back with another video, and today I wanted to do a full-on spoiler discussion of everything I want to talk about in The Secrets of Dumbledore. I'm gonna preface this. There is going to be this spoiler review, and then I'm going to do individual ending explained for the Qilin, the Blood Pact, Aurelius Dumbledore, Ariana Dumbledore, Aberforth. There's a lot coming because there's a lot to discuss. But this video is where I just want to ramble on about everything I loved about the movie. The first thing I wanted to talk about was this beautiful Qilin. I've been waiting to speak about this for so long, you guys. This Qilin is a magical beast that can basically predict the future. And it's also a beast that notices how worthy you are, how noble you are, how much of a good person you are. The movie starts off and Newt Scamander is on his way to help this mother of the Qilin give birth to this baby. Now, when she does so, unfortunately, Credence and Vinda Rosier and another one of Grindelwald's henchmen come and they murder this mom. First shock in this movie. I was absolutely floored by how dark they decided to go. I mean, goodness, you just killed this mom after she gave birth to this baby. Poor Newt Scamander is running around frantically. He comes back to the mom and he's crying to her. I really enjoyed how many character moments we got from Newt, where once again we see how much he cares about these animals. It's truly wonderful to see in a big blockbuster movie. This guy loves his pets. But then, surprise! Turns out she had twins. There's another Qilin that Newt takes for himself. Now keep this in mind. You've got two opposite sides. Newt, who has a Qilin, and Grindelwald, who has a Qilin. Credence returns to Grindelwald, gives him this Qilin, and my goodness, shock number 2. One of the most horrifying scenes in the entire wizarding world. Grindelwald is caressing this baby Qilin, this baby beautiful animal, and he's giving it love, he's giving it peace, and then all of a sudden, he slashes its throat. What? One of the most horrifying scenes in the wizarding world that I have ever seen. And it's one of the reasons why I feel Grindelwald, played by Mads Mikkelsen, was just done so well. The script actually gave him crimes to commit this time, and you really hated him for it. But then again, you also saw his convincing, persuasive, manipulative side that really had Dumbledore on his knees as a kid. The reason this Qilin is killed by Grindelwald is because Grindelwald wants to resurrect it as a zombie so that when he is elected in a future election at the end of the movie for the Magical Confederation of Wizards, he gets elected because the Qilin will choose him. The entire idea is that this Qilin is how wizard presidents are chosen. First, the Qilin will bow to the person he sees fit, and then they will take a vote. So Grindelwald actually resurrects this Qilin to become a zombie so that it is connected to Grindelwald and it will choose him, and Grindelwald can control him. This was another scene that really just horrified me. He's in this acidic pool and he's chanting magical spells, and it's all very horrifying. Meanwhile, Credence is on the side looking absolutely petrified. And it's really great seeing this side of Grindelwald that I feel Johnny Depp kind of didn't really give us. Johnny Depp was giving us a very mustache twirly villain, while Grindelwald is really this opposite side. It's almost as if they're different characters, which is something that I know I will hate moving on just watching all three of these movies and seeing Colin Graves be the first Grindelwald and then Johnny Depp being the second one and now Grindelwald being the third. It's kind of like the Defense Against the Dark Arts professors in Harry Potter. I mean, every year you got someone new. But of course this is different because all of these people are trying to play the same character. But I will say, Grindelwald in this film and Grindelwald in the first feel the most the same, and I think that is really great. If I were to rewatch these movies, I guess I would have to kind of skip Crimes of Grindelwald, just in a way. I mean, other than Credence being a Dumbledore and just the entire thing about Leta Lestrange, this makes Crimes of Grindelwald kind of inconsequential. I also really wanted to get into the relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. I just need to be honest. Dumbledore broke my heart in this movie. I mean, he's struggling with the fact that he has a blood pact. I find this really interesting because when Grindelwald is speaking to him in the beginning of the movie, Grindelwald actually tells him that we can free ourselves of this blood pact, but Dumbledore clearly doesn't want to because he is not over the connection that he had with Grindelwald growing up. That is one of Dumbledore's flaws that I feel is highlighted so well in this film, and it's highlighted so well because of how explicit Dumbledore is with telling Grindelwald and telling us, the audience, that he was in love with him. That is the fact. That is something that we've known ever since the Deathly Hallows. I understand that some of you may feel that it wasn't explicitly stated in the Deathly Hallows, but when I read that book, I understood it. I knew exactly what J.K. Rowling meant when she said that they grew very close. And I truly loved how manipulative Mads Mikkelsen was as Grindelwald in this movie towards Dumbledore. You could tell that he really has a hold on his emotions. And if any of you have ever been in an abusive relationship, I'm so sorry, firstly. But man, that must be so rough, because there's something that happens at the end of this movie that, again, I will really go into great detail over, that really broke my heart. At the end of the movie, when the Qilin is revealed to be dead and Bunty gives Newt this other Qilin that's actually alive, and Grindelwald is revealed to be a liar by Credence, everything goes to a head, and Dumbledore and Grindelwald enter this other world where they're fighting on their own, and the blood pact shatters because Dumbledore and Aberforth attempt to protect Credence when Grindelwald casts the killing curse. Now let me explain. The entire way that they handled Credence's character in this, in my opinion, was almost perfect. I had this theory that Credence was the reincarnation of Ariana Dumbledore. And after seeing this movie, I'm actually seriously happy that he wasn't Ariana's reincarnation, because Dumbledore specifically explains in this film that when he and Grindelwald wanted to run off together, Aberforth was not having it. Aberforth struck a spell at Dumbledore, Dumbledore fired back, and Grindelwald joined in. Ariana came in the middle, tried to stop it, and that is how she unfortunately passed away. He explains that Ariana was also an Obscurus, a theory that I have had for 4 years, and I was just so happy. I was ecstatic about this. And Ariana's Obscurus was something that she couldn't control, similar to Credence. Keep in mind, this all means that Dumbledore essentially was the reason for the death of Ariana, and that he killed the Obscurus in his family. He killed the abused little girl in this family, and he is living with that regret. When the events of Secrets of Dumbledore take place in the third act, and Grindelwald casts the killing curse on Credence, who is revealed to be Aurelius Dumbledore, the son of Aberforth, not Dumbledore's brother, actually Dumbledore's nephew. Grindelwald casts this curse, and Dumbledore and Aberforth, instead of fighting back, create another three-way duel that is literally a replication of what happened between Ariana. The reason it's so similar to what happened to Ariana is not only because it's a three-way duel between Aberforth, Dumbledore, and Grindelwald, but also because there is an Obscurus in the middle, and it's Credence. Sorry. This time, instead of fighting each other, they're actually fighting to protect the Obscurus. They're fighting to protect this abused child, Credence, who has been through so much, who is abandoned by Aberforth. And it's so beautiful that this twist in history, this kind of redoing of the past, but this time with good intentions, actually shatters the blood pact. The blood pact was created as this deconstruction of love, this kind of fake love that was manipulative, and this true act of love and kindness that we know to be so powerful in the Harry Potter books, with Lily's sacrifice and Snape's love for her, this sacrifice of love that protects you forever. This is what shatters the blood pact. This is what really destroys that fake love that was between Dumbledore and Grindelwald permanently. I am absolutely floored by how intricate and how detailed and how beautiful the Wizarding world is. I truly, truly feel that this twist is absolutely magical. And as the blood pact shatters, Grindelwald looks directly into Dumbledore's eyes and he says, "Who will love you now, Dumbledore?" And my heart absolutely shattered. It is that level of manipulation that makes Grindelwald a truly disgusting villain. It makes him so manipulative and so toxic, and you can really feel it. You can feel that Dumbledore really doesn't want to fight this guy, but Grindelwald is just so despicable. He keeps Dumbledore on a leash, and it's actually kind of beautiful that the blood pact is kind of a resemblance of Dumbledore having his heart on his sleeve, because that's where he keeps it. He wraps it around. Come to think of it, where is my blood pact? I might as well take it out and wear it for the next coming videos. I also truly loved the fight that we got between Dumbledore and Grindelwald in this movie. I mean, just all of the ducking and weaving. You can tell that David Yates really wanted to do something different and advance the magic in the world of Harry Potter, and he really succeeded in doing so. I mean, this is the most creative wizarding movie that I feel we've ever gotten in the Harry Potter universe. I know that it's all J.K. Rowling's ideas, but the way David Yates portrayed that on the screen with all of the shifting colors and the mirror dimensions changing, it all felt very Doctor Strange, and I really enjoyed that. On that note, I also really loved, in fact, I think I loved this more than the fight at the end, the fight between Aurelius, Credence, and Dumbledore. You could tell that Dumbledore really didn't want to fight this guy, so as usual, Dumbledore is deflecting spells instead of actually casting them. You can tell that Credence has really grown into his power. He's using his wand to harness his Obscurus, and I think that works so well for his character. Ezra Miller in this role is just absolutely fantastic, and I didn't want to speak about him in the non-spoiler review, but I really felt that this is where I should focus on him because, of course, his character just has so much to do, and it's so juicy. Credence throughout the entire movie is communicating with Aberforth Dumbledore, leaving him messages like, "Do you know what it's like to be alone? I want to come home." It's so reminiscent of Aberforth communicating with Harry through Sirius's mirror in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I thought that was a really cool parallel. It's a shame that we knew that that mirror belonged to Sirius, because if it was the same mirror that they were communicating on, I think that would have been a really great addition to the movie. But of course, that would be a retcon, and another reason I loved this much more than The Crimes of Grindelwald is because this movie did absolutely almost no retconning. Professor McGonagall is still in the film. I don't understand why she is there. I think that J.K. Rowling is just backpedaling on this, but it doesn't work. Professor McGonagall wasn't born at that time. I'm gonna stand by it. I'm not gonna watch the movie and think, oh my god, it's Professor McGonagall. This is brilliant. No, she wasn't alive yet. Get over yourself. So after all of the communication between Aberforth and Credence, who is now Aurelius, Dumbledore decides, I need to go see this guy for myself and figure out what's going on. He then finds out that, of course, Grindelwald has told Aurelius that he is Dumbledore's brother. Dumbledore tells him that this is a lie, it's not true, and he uses his Deluminator to put him into this mirror dimension where he can calm him down and reveal the truth. You are a Dumbledore by blood, but you are not my brother. I really liked how Ezra Miller played this. He really gave this movie his all in terms of showing you someone who is so angry, but he's angry because of the hurt that he's felt his entire life. It didn't feel as though this guy was just evil. No, not at all. He's being manipulated by Grindelwald to do really bad things. For example, capture the Qilin and kill Dumbledore, which he fails in both somewhat, and he has just been a person who has been physically, mentally abused his entire life. He is using this Obscurus to kind of take back what he lost, and he wanted to get revenge on Dumbledore for abandoning him. Now, I really enjoyed how when Queenie's speaking to Credence in an earlier scene, she tells him that Grindelwald wants to help Credence because Grindelwald also felt abandoned by Dumbledore earlier on. That is another form of absolute manipulation. That is not exactly what happened. Dumbledore just left after he realized that Grindelwald is a bit of a douchebag, and Grindelwald is twisting this into, no, you left me. It's just typical manipulation at its finest. Man, I loved Grindelwald in this movie. I think now is the time that we talk about side characters, and the first one that I wanted to get into was our beloved Catherine Waterston, Tina Goldstein. I am disappointed. I know that Catherine Waterston has said stuff about J.K. Rowling when she was doing press for another movie, and I honestly think that that was the reason that she wasn't in this movie all that much. I know she said she was pregnant, but at the same time, Victoria Yates, who plays Bunty, revealed at the press screening that she was also pregnant while filming the film. I mean, if you weren't going to include Tina, just at least say that you weren't going to include Tina for the sake of behind-the-scenes drama. I personally think that's very unprofessional of J.K. Rowling. I'm just going to be honest. It's really unprofessional. J.K. Rowling has the right to say whatever she wants. So does Catherine Waterston. So does Eddie Redmayne. So does any other member of this cast. Them shortchanging Tina and only leaving her for the very final scene of the film really feels like you are taking this main character, truly the main woman in this story, and just sidelining her and instead giving us Lolly and Bunty, who are both brilliant in the film, but if I'm being completely honest, I think Bunty's role was written in the place of Tina. Watching this entire movie, I truly felt that, yep, these are Tina's scenes. These Bunty scenes are literally Tina's scenes. This is what Tina was supposed to be doing throughout this entire film. You can't tell me that Tina's little sister, her baby sister that she's protected ever since she was a little girl, is out here walking around being evil with Grindelwald, and Tina wouldn't be interested? Oh, Tina's too busy working at the ministry. She's the head of the Aura office. Theseus was just bragging about he was head of the Aura office, and he's out here on this mission with Newt. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying, JK? So yeah, I thought that was a bit of a mess, but it's okay, because I kind of was okay with it because of how fun the introductions of Lolly and Bunty were. I mean, I know we saw these characters very briefly in The Crimes of Grindelwald, because of course that movie was a mess, but I really loved how Bunty was so loyal to Newt, and I loved that when they were on the train and Newt gave her the message from Dumbledore, it just disappeared, and Bunty all of a sudden says, "No one can know anything, Newt, not even you." And I just really liked that. It was just really mysterious, which then leads to that entire exchange at the end where everybody is ducking and weaving spells with 6 different briefcases, and Newt is just wondering, where is this baby Qilin that Dumbledore has hidden from me? And of course, Bunty is revealed to be the one who has the Qilin in the end. I just thought that was really adorable. I thought that really worked, and I just really enjoyed it. I also really adored Lolly Hicks in this movie. Jessica Williams, if you're watching this, which I know you're probably not, you are a star, and I love you with all of my heart. Wow! I know that this isn't really important to a lot of you people, but honestly, for our first main character of color in this 10-movie franchise, I really think Jessica Williams gave us something so truly memorable. She was so funny and charismatic, and her onstage presence with Dan Fogler's Jacob is truly something to behold. It was so magical seeing these two together actually speak about all of these events that have taken place, have this interesting magical bond between one another. I just thought that worked very well. I also really loved Jacob Kowalski in this movie. From the start of the movie, you can see that he's really lost everything that he's loved. He's lost his bakery. Things are not going well. He's lost a lot of weight. Him and Queenie aren't together. Queenie's out here with a freaking terrorist. But the reason I love Jacob's character so much in this is because while he was still at his lowest, and Lolly tries to come up with this thing to see if he could save her from this gang in the middle of his bakery, he still does so. He tries with all of his might to save this woman until she reveals that that was all fake and she wants to enlist him for Dumbledore's plan. She tells him that even at his lowest, he still tried to be the better person and help a person in need. And that is exactly why we all grew to love Jacob. He has the biggest heart. On that beautiful heart note, there is a beautiful interaction between Dumbledore and Jacob, where Dumbledore tells Jacob one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. I'm not sure if I'm exactly quoting this word for word, but he says something along the lines of, "Jacob, you have something that most men..." I'm sorry. He says to Jacob, "You have something that most men live their entire lives without, a full heart." And then after that, when Jacob finally reunites with Queenie, he tells her that Dumbledore told me that I have a full heart, but there's always room for you. I really love how love is written in these movies. A lot of people complain that J.K. Rowling can't really write romance, but honestly, there is more than one type of love other than romance in this world. And I think the way a mother's love was shown so beautifully, given so much power in the Harry Potter movies, I feel was done the same way with romance in The Secrets of Dumbledore. Not only between the relationship of Dumbledore and Grindelwald being so tragic, but just how Queenie and Jacob truly can't stay away from one another, I just thought was so beautiful. And the way they handled their reunion scene, then topped off by the end of the movie, them getting married, was just so heartwarming to me, and I truly felt that it worked so well. Other characters I of course have to mention are Theseus and Yusuf Kama. Now, Yusuf Kama didn't really have a lot to do in this movie, if I'm being completely honest, but he does have one scene that is absolutely terrifying, and it's another one of those scenes where Grindelwald does something very, very bad. Throughout this movie, Yusuf Kama is hired by Dumbledore to become a double agent, somewhat a very B-tech version of Severus Snape. And so Yusuf Kama goes up to Grindelwald and Queenie and tells them that I want to join you guys. Obviously, Grindelwald asks Queenie to read his mind. That's the whole reason he wanted to enlist her in the first place. And Queenie says that while he disagrees with Dumbledore, he hates you, Grindelwald, because you killed his sister, Leta Lestrange. All hail Zoe Kravitz, by the way. I miss her so much. Grindelwald then proceeds to say, well, I might as well just relieve you of your sister's memory. What in God's name was that? Grindelwald then, with Yusuf's consent, but of course you can tell that Yusuf is terrified, erases Leta's memory from her brother. Wow. You talk about the crimes of Grindelwald? This movie should have been called The Crimes of Grindelwald. I have never seen something more despicable in the wizarding world before, other than Hermione's torture by Bellatrix in the Deathly Hallows Part 1. The fact that you could do that to a person who lost a family member, just erase their memory, really shows you how Grindelwald uses his allies as toys rather than actual human beings. It's disgusting. Then on the other hand, you got Theseus, who's just out here with Newt getting captured and needing to be saved by none other than Teddy and Pickett. I truly loved the scene where they were underground with these manticores and they had to do this little dance that was to save them, but of course that didn't work. And all of a sudden, Pickett decide, we are going to be the heroes of the story. We are the Fantastic Beasts, and we will not be forgotten. I really loved how the Fantastic Beasts became the heroes of this movie. I mean, we got Pickett over here and Teddy the Niffler right there. It's just so beautiful how these beasts came together to save their dad, and I just thought that was so cool. Last but not least, if there's anything else I would speak about, it would be Aurelius Dumbledore's reveal as Aberforth's son. Turns out that in Godric's Hollow, all those years ago, when Dumbledore and Grindelwald wanted to run away together on that fateful summer, Aberforth got it on with a witch, and then that witch was sent away out of Godric's Hollow, and then Credence was born. We don't know a lot about the mother, but man, would I like to know more. I hope we get to know a little bit more about that in the 4th and 5th films. I thought that was really cool. I mean, I saw the theory. I think I made a theory that Credence could have also been Aberforth's son. Back then, I really wasn't into it. I didn't want it to happen. I really wanted Credence to be the reincarnation of Arianas Obscurus, but now I really like that they're separate, because now you get to see two different stories with two Obscuruses that Dumbledore kills. Unfortunately, he didn't mean it, but he does, and then saves. And I really thought that was done very beautifully. The visuals in this movie were absolutely unbelievable. The score was just tremendous. I've been listening to it while studying on my way to uni. It's so calming, and there are so many beautiful moments when it comes to the score, particularly in the end of the film. It was so moving seeing Queenie and Jacob get married at the end of this movie. It was so beautiful seeing Tina reunite with Newt. It was so cute seeing Lolly and Theseus maybe kind of get it on. I mean, I don't know. I see that happening. I really want it to, and I'm just so excited for the future of this movie. But as I said, that ending truly wraps it up. I mean, I left with a really good taste in my mouth. Not the AMC popcorn, but just the movie in general was just so filling. I felt like Jacob's heart. I really, truly felt so full after watching this, and I really hope that's how you guys feel after watching this video. If you guys watched this, honestly, I swear to God, I love you so much. I mean, my camera says I've been filming for 29 minutes. Wow. All right. Well, I love you guys so much. That was my spoiler discussion of The Secrets of Dumbledore. I mean, this truly was a discussion. There was not a lot going on in this other than me rambling. I love you all so much. I need to get filming. I'm gonna do these breakdown videos. Man, I'm excited. We're gonna go in depth about the Blood Pact, in depth about the Qilin, in depth about Aurelius Dumbledore. It's all very exciting stuff. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.